And he's bang on 10 o'clock tonight. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It's 10 p.m. It's Monday. That means it's time for some motivation and mind hacks. Going to just wait a few minutes, let people join. Who've we got? Tony is in the house straight away. Tony, good evening. Well, not good evening to you. Tony is in the States. What is it, Tony? 3 p.m. for you? Cindy's here. I just saw Sasha here. Let's give people a few minutes to join, guys. Tonight we're talking all about risk, and I've got the slides ready. Sam is here as well. For those who are new to this scope, Nina, good evening. Or if you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this on the replay, 4 p.m. for Tony. There you go. I knew I was close, Tony. Carol's here. Yeah, if you're watching it on the replay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You can't comment like these guys are doing now, so you can't talk to me live. So you need to get yourself on the next Periscope live. How you do that is go to periscope.tv. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can get the app, you see, for your phone or your tablet or your Android, your iPhone, whatever, and you can follow me. It's at Ross A. Grant, and then every time I go live it'll go woo woo, a noise similar to that, and it'll tell you that I'm live. You can come and join in. Hey, so spooky, you going on about risk. I was literally just writing some stuff to do with it. Oh, there you go, Sasha. Well, the inspiration for this scope came from the fact that I had to kick my own ass today, basically, because I needed to just have a word with myself, right? And I thought, you know what, there's probably a few other people out there who might just need to take themselves to the side and have a word with themselves too. So I'm quite a big risk taker. I have been like a massive risk taker financially in my life sometimes, and normally it's kind of paid off. One time it nearly went very, very wrong, like to the tune of about 30,000 English pounds, about $50,000, Tony Rossi. That wasn't a great time in my life. It all was fine though. It was okay in the end. It was on the stock market. It kind of bounced back. Things were all right. Carl, good evening. So I'm normally quite, risk, not averse, but I'm quite like, if I think the odds are in my favour, I'm going to go for it. Kim, good evening as well. But then today, right, I found myself, hey Carl, I found myself umming and ahhing over a situation that I'm in. Now, for those who know me, I'm an actor and a voiceover artist as well. I run a couple of websites for actors. One of them, well, the main one that I run is called Act On This, the TV Actors Network. You can find it at actonthis.tv. And it's going through some changes at the moment, and it's going to relaunch in about 3 weeks' time, which is very exciting. It's going to be awesome. Go check it out now, and then the new version of it will be there in about 3 weeks' time. So there's quite a few changes. It will be bigger, better, and some of the features that I've got coming up in terms of the content, I'm going all out. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. Stuff that you won't have ever seen in this industry before, in the acts industry. So it's not just going to be podcasts anymore and live broadcasts. There's going to be other stuff in there as well. But it requires me to invest in some pretty serious kit. Now, I could do this the cheap way, or I could do it a quite expensive way. It's not a serious, massive money, but it is quite big. So the difference is, well, it is quite big money. It's about, I don't know, maybe the difference between £6,000 if I did it properly. I am plugged in, Kim, thank you for reminding me, and I'm on aeroplane mode, so hopefully nobody can disturb us phone call wise, but they can still disturb us through FaceTime, which I've done a couple of times. So if it cuts off, guys, it's probably someone FaceTiming me. So the difference was doing it properly for about £6,000, doing it cheaply for about, I don't know, £1,500 or something like that. And I was there, I was thinking to myself for ages, going, oh God, right, I don't know what to do. Do I do it this way? Do I do it the expensive way? Do I do it the cheap way? What's the risk involved? And then I just thought to myself, Ross, you're an absolute knobhead. You're an idiot, right? Because by me saying, right, I'm going to do it the cheap way, which would involve a few workarounds and a bit of hassle, and the quality probably wouldn't be quite as good. Thanks for sharing, Cindy. I went, well, by saying you're going to do it the cheap way, Ross, effectively what you're doing there is you're admitting to yourself almost that you're not going to succeed. Because you're going, well, if I'm only going to spend the £1,500, then I'm effectively saying to myself, well, if I spent the 6, I'm not going to make more than 6 back. So thus it's pointless doing it. So I'm like, if I invest the 6, then I'm subconsciously saying to myself, right, you've invested the 6, you believe in yourself, and you're gonna make more than that 6 back. So I was like, you're just an idiot. So I had to slap myself in the face and get the real kit ordered. And I thought, right, okay, that's like, just a reminder for myself. How much risk am I taking in my life? And I always say, don't I, guys? And people are saying it on the chat now. I'm just saying, Nina say it, Carl say it, invest in yourself. When people came to me and they were unsure whether they should invest in the Bulletproof Actor mindset program that I've produced, they said, I don't know if I can afford it. And I'm like, guys, you can always afford to invest in yourself. Trust me. No, I know, Carl. I know, absolutely. It was just, I was just thinking, Carl saying, you tell us to do that. Totally. The figures were on a slightly different scale. I was going, I could spend £1.5 or £6,000, but I was like, no, you know what? Got to practice what I preach, absolutely. And and I have to remind myself of this sometimes as well, because fear steps in, doesn't it? It just steps in the way of us, and we're going like, is this a risk worth taking? So tonight, just as a bit of inspiration for everybody out there who might be in a situation where they're like, should I take a risk? Am I taking enough risk in our life? In our lives? I want to just give you guys, and just a little bit of fun really, it probably won't last that long, but my 8 all-time favourite quotes on risk-taking. And I'm going to read out the quote, and then you guys are going to try and guess who said it. You're not going to guess any of them, so it's probably a pointless task even guessing. But we're going to have a little play anyway, and I've got 8 here, not in any order, although the last one I'm going to read out is my favourite of all time. It's nice to know that you still have wee blips. Oh, totally, God, yeah. No, absolutely. So Kim says it's nice to know that I still have blips, and I have to remind myself to practice what I preach daily. Kim, honestly, it's so easy for me to sit here and tell everybody else what they should be doing with their lives. Like, honestly, but it's a daily battle for me as well. So everything that I generally share with you guys, or the things we talk about on these scopes, I've either implemented into my life myself and had success with it already, or it's something that I'm reading at the moment, or something that's very new to me that I'm sharing with you guys as well. So we're on the same page really, we're on the same journey. I'm certainly not like extraordinary as like, this is the guy with the perfect life and the perfect mindset and he's always positive. I like to think I am very positive and I've got a lot of it nailed down, but of course the lid can fly off sometimes. You just got to hammer it back down and go, no. Okay, stay under control, stay calm, this is all going to be fine. But yeah, we're just human, and that's what's so amazing about it, definitely. And one day you can have it all under control. So what I know is one day I can literally be flying, got everything down, all the stuff for productivity. I'm going to bring a course out on productivity soon. Everything that I kind of do to get all the work done in my life can be all going really, really well. My mindset can be in a perfect place, and then bang, hit a speed bump in the road all of a sudden. For like an hour or so, it's like it can all feel like it's crumbling down, and you have to go, right, okay, let's just reset, reframe this. So I'm just as fallible to that sort of stuff as everybody, which is why I always say this is not the Ross show. This is just stuff I want to share with you guys that I'm using in my life right now, or have done recently, that's helped. So it's cool. So the first one is a really happy quote to start on. This is just one that I thought encapsulates everything though, sort of like the bigger picture. And the quote says, "The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead." Okay, now sometimes I think we need to kind of like wake ourselves up to the fact that we are alive now, okay? And don't be afraid, don't be afraid of the end, because you can't take any risks when you're dead. You want to be taking risks now. So who do you think said that? The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. I'll give you a clue. He had crazy hair. Crazy hair, very clever. Most people would say he was a genius. Who do you think that is? Albert Einstein. Boom, Sasha, if there was a prize, you'd have got it. So there you go, Albert Einstein. And I put on there, for anyone who doesn't know who he is, because obviously everybody does, but German-born theoretical physicist, because I don't think most people knew his title. Who's Einstein? Oh, genius, isn't he? But no, he was a German-born theoretical physicist. So that's Einstein. So first up, who's scared of death, first of all, right? Einstein, Kim says. You're late to the party, Kim. You can't just copy Sasha, although I'm sure you guessed as well at the same time. But yeah, who's going to remind themselves, let's hope I get an audition before I pop my clogs? Nina, you've got like decades left, woman. Honestly, listen to me, girl. Decades left. You'll definitely get I will give you a bloody audition for something. Definitely before you pop your clogs, don't worry about that. But yeah, I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves that we're mortal, guys. We won't live forever though. So if we are going to take risks, don't worry about it. Take risks now while you're alive, because you can't take them when you're dead. Nothing wrong with being late to the party, said Sam, because Sam's normally late to the scopes, but I don't think you were tonight, Sam. I think you've done good. Next one. Here's a good one. I like this one. No man, this is quite famous, you might have heard this one. No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his well-being to risk his body, to risk his life in a great cause. So no man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his well-being, to risk his body, to risk his life in a great cause. Little clue, was a president of the United States at some point. Death doesn't scare me, says Kim. Good on you, Kim. Don't be reckless crossing the road though. Okay, it's just really more of a reminder that you're alive, and if you're going to take risks, the time to take them is now, not when you're dead. So he was a president. Lincoln, no, but Lincoln's a bloody good guy, but it wasn't. Bloody hell, look at Sasha again. I can only, well, you've got it right on one of those, Sasha, but you have to choose one. I can only accept one, not both answers. Sounds like someone going on a date with me. Brilliant. So, for every guy watching, yes, Sasha, you're right, Roosevelt. Tony Ross is on the scope tonight, Sam. So, Tony, basically, I know you're looking for a girlfriend. Let us know if you're still single, mate. Because if you did take Sam on a date, it would be like risking your well-being, your body, and your life. However, in a great cause. So let us know. You are on a roll, Sasha. Unfortunately, Kim, it wasn't Kennedy. Sasha just nipped you to the post. Roosevelt, yeah. Roosevelt, who was, bit of education tonight as well, the 26th President of the United States. Just if it comes up in a pub quiz. 26th, there you go. Next one, slightly obscure, but maybe some actors on the scope might have heard this before. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. So let me know if you've... Actually, this is interesting. Have you ever risked something too far? I nearly risked that money on the stock market, which was a deposit for a house, and I was £29,700 down out of a £30,000 investment. That was really bad. I hope dating doesn't kill anybody, says Tony. No, Sam, that is not correct. Sam's answer is not correct. Sasha says Kim, but I don't think she meant Kim said this quote. So yeah, only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Was a playwright. 2 initials and then a surname. He's known as Beckett. No. I'd say close-ish. Yes, Eliot. Boom. There you go. Cat. It's a good little quiz, isn't it? T.S. Eliot, who British. I've had to put British, but he was American-born. Essayist, publisher, and playwright. So yeah. So have you ever gone too far? Have you ever taken a risk that you think has gone too far? Let me know and give me some hearts if you have. And I'll give you some hearts back for taking the risk, because it was worth taking anyway, because as I'm sure you will agree with me, for every risk that has gone too far, you've learnt an absolute shed load anyway, haven't you? So it's probably always worth taking. You wouldn't have known how far you could go if you hadn't gone too far, as our man T.S. Eliot says. Next one, and I'm pretty sure, do you know what? I think Tony Rossi might be the only one on here who might get this, because I think he's a fan of this guy. So you might have heard it, Tony. If you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. So if you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. An awesome motivational speaker, American entrepreneur as well, author, just overall legend, was a mentor of Tony Robbins. It's like the father almost of Ross Grant. Yes. Yeah, that was me. That was the one from me, Sam. No, it's not me. I don't know this one. His name rhymes with Tim Bone. Tim Bone, his name rhymes with. Come on, Tony. You know this, man. If you're not willing to risk the unusual, Jim Rohn. Yes, his name rhymes with Tim Bone. See the clue? There you go. Yeah, if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. Jim Rohn. There we go. Carl had it as well. You were close behind there, Carl, but you had it as well, son. I'll give you that. Good on you. Awesome. It's brilliant, isn't it? Sasha says she loves that quote. It's a really, really good one. This guy I'd never heard of until I read this like randomly on the internet on one of those quote things about 2 months ago on Instagram. So I don't know a lot about him, and I don't even know how to pronounce his second name. I had to look him up. But he says, the only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. So I think this one definitely kind of, I think you can apply it to a lot in your life, but this probably more so relationships. A lot of people want to lock their heart away and go, I don't want to risk anything or put anything on the line because I don't want to get hurt, blah, 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 blah. According to this American novelist, who I'm sure none of you have heard of because he's probably quite obscure, the only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. Wow, love this one, says Kat, it's raw. It is, but I think you've got to put yourself on the line, And the last quote that I'm going to read you in a minute, in a couple of quotes' time, my favourite one of all time, kind of will help you with this one as well, and will help with being, being completely cut open, taking the risk to allow that to happen, because you never know, it might all work out amazingly. So the only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. Chuck Palahniuk, his name rhymes. It's great. Oh, so his name rhymes with Huck Malaniuk. So never mind, Sam. Never mind. I hope you have some Walt Disney in there. Well, I've not, Sasha, because we did some Walt Disney quotes, didn't we? But I'll get some of them sometime. Mary's joined us. Good evening, Mary. We're part way through this, but you can go and check out some of the other quotes on the replay. This was a nice quote on risk, Mary. The only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open, by Chuck Palahniuk, American novelist. Never read any of his stuff, probably won't, but I think he was well written, well put quote, that one, definitely. Okay, I think I've got 3 more. Oh, I've got 2 crackers and I've got one that's just my favourite, just favourite ever. I know you love Disney, Sasha. Honestly, she's just absolutely crazy on Disney. But I did it. If you go back in the archives, go to actonthis.tv, people. If you're watching this for the first time and you're on the replay, go to the Periscope section. It's going to be much easier to find soon as well when the website relaunches in a couple of weeks. And just have a look in there, search for Disney, and you'll find my top 10 Disney quotes of all time. Some awesome ones in there. From people like Snow White and Winnie the Pooh. So this is one from a really very famous actor. It is better to risk starving to death than surrender. It is risk starving to death, then surrender. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? So he's basically saying it's absolutely better to risk everything and then go, oh, I can't, I give up, than to give up on your dreams. Then he says, what's left? So it's better to risk starving to death, then surrender. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? Who said that? Canadian American actor, very famous for his facial expressions, slightly mental, did an awesome speech at a university address sometime. Christian Bale, starving to death. Ooh, close, but it's not the one. It is better to risk starving to death than surrender. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? Jim Carrey, you all got it. Boom! All got it at the same time. Yeah, it is better to risk starving to death than surrender. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? I mean, what is left? Sasha, you're on fire tonight. What is left if you don't have that? I mean, literally nothing. That's what I thought to myself before. I went, you know what, God, if I'm not trying to, take this to the next level, and then the next level, and the next level, and invest this money in this kit to be able to do that, what's left? I might as well close the whole thing down now, because it ain't going to grow, it ain't going to go anywhere. Pointless. You just got to keep going on. Risk starving to death, then surrender. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? Good in that, Nina. Nina's got an emoticon like this, so I'll just give you one back. Right, 2 more. Another actress this time. There's something liberating, and I think this is really true. There's something liberating about not pretending. Dare to embarrass yourself. Risk. So she says there's something liberating about not pretending. Dare to embarrass yourself. Full stop, and then just one word on its own. Risk. So it's an actress, an American actress, had a lot of fame really early on in life. Meryl Streep, no, close, but well, not close. Meryl Streep's much older, but it's Mary was in there almost with Meryl as well. Was in as a child actress, very famous child actress, had a pet alien. No, not Meryl, Carl. We've had Meryl. Elliot. Come on. Shirley Temple. Not Shirley Temple. Drew. Yes. Drew Barrymore. Exactly. Yeah. So there you go. There's something liberating about not pretending. Dare to embarrass yourself. Risk. I agree with that. I just think like the older I have got, give me some hearts if you agree with this. The older you get, the less bothered you are about trying to be something you're not. Who's with me on that? You know, when I was like younger and I was like in my 20s and I'm going out to these bars and these clubs and I'm buying all this designer gear and spending money on, you know, spending £100 on a bottle of vodka, sitting at a table like, oh yeah, like I'm some kind of weekend millionaire. Just don't care about that anymore. There's something really nice about not pretending. Oh, what did you say, Sasha? Even though you're only 24, you've discovered that. I think honestly, Sasha, in my experience, I don't know, I reckon 20, maybe 28's as old as I'll ever get in my head. I think I developed a lot of kind of like sense between 25 and 28. I think I grew up an awful lot. And since then, I've probably been pretty much the same. Carl says absolutely can't be arsed. We had a few drinks after the dance festival finished, ended up in a nightclub. What was that, Sam? You ended up in a nightclub? I think so. Says Sasha, yeah. I'm past that as well. Stopped that about 22. Kim stopped till like 22. Took me till about 28, I think, and then I just grew up. Sam ended up in a big nightclub, wearing a big puffy coat and woolly scarf. That's because you're going, oh, a bit cold in here. Whereas normally, back in the day, tiny skirt on, knee-high boots, all that stuff. I used to see girls going out in the winter, and I'm going, are you insane? Where's your jacket? That used to be me, though. I'd go out in a t-shirt and just stand there shivering outside the club. Ridiculous. Right, my last quote, but just my best. I just love it. I just love it because it just makes sense. Oh, you kids, says Nina. I'm sure I see your Facebook pics, Nina. You're always out on the town, going for a civilised meal that no doubt ends up in drunken debauchery. You know, popping open the champagne, cocktails. You know, I'm sure that's you. Not really. You always look very sophisticated on your pictures, Nina. For the record. So this one, you're not going to know this guy. I don't think he's not an actor or an actress or anything like that. But I just think it makes so much sense. And I want you, if you remember any quotes from tonight, I want you to take this one away with you. It says, people who don't take risks generally make about 2 big mistakes a year. People who do take risks generally make about 2 big mistakes a year. And I think it's brilliant. It's by a guy. I'm not even going to get you to guess. By a guy called Peter Drucker. He was an Austrian-born American management consultant, really kind of famous in the business world and I guess personal development as well. A lot of people in business development quote him a lot. But just a reminder, you know what? You can take no risks and you're still probably going to make 2 mistakes a year, 2 big mistakes. Or you can take a shitload of risks and you're probably still going to make 2 big mistakes a year. That is all. So, you know, just do it effectively. You know, I had to remind myself of it today. For those who've joined partway through this scope, the inspiration for this scope came from the fact that I was umming and ahhing about a risk of investing in some equipment to forward my business. And the difference wasn't huge. The difference was about £4,500, which is a significant amount of money in anybody's book. But by saying no, I'm not going to invest that extra 4.5k was like me saying, well, you know, I'm not going to make 4.5k out of this venture. I'm not, you know, I feel that the risk is too big or whatever. Effectively, it's just self-defeating myself. So yeah, I was like, no, you've got to do this. You've got to take the risk. And by taking the risk and investing that money, it's going to make me work harder, isn't it? You know, I've got more to lose, so I'm going to work harder. If I don't put everything on the line, then I don't get as good a results because I don't work as hard. Do something every day that scares you, says Nina. Exactly, just do it. Sam said that before. That's the quote from Nike. Yeah, they've copyrighted that one. Just do it. But I just thought that was great by Peter Drucker. Yeah, people who don't take risks generally make about 2 big mistakes a year. People who do take risks generally make about 2 big mistakes a year. So just this week, guys, I mean, it's only Monday, going through this week now, anytime you feel that fear, and I still haven't read that book, and I know Archie on all the scopes keeps telling me to read it, feel the fear and do it anyway. I would say that, yeah, feel the fear and just do it anyway. because ultimately, yeah, as we said with the first quote, you know, you can't make mistakes or take risks when you're dead. And that's coming to all of us on a happy note. So you might as well take the risk now. And who knows, they might pay off. So let me know before we go if you've got anything you can take a risk on this week. For me, it's definitely going out and just investing in that kit. You know, my bank balance is going to be 6k lighter, but my potential, well, effectively what happens is I go, here's my bank balance, here's my potential. I spend the money, so you know, my bank balance, well, my bank balance goes down, doesn't it? But my potential rises. So there's that whole gap that I can then work in to get better and better my life, as opposed to everything just staying like this forever and going, well, I've hit a ceiling, can't get any better now. The money's in my bank, brilliant, what's it doing for me? Nothing at all. Your money, guys, as well, just not a business coach, but I was thinking about this, when your money is just sat in a bank, society is spending it for you by the tune of about 2.5%, 3% a year, up to 4% a year actually, inflation. So your money just, you know, being sat there is going to depreciate in value. If you can spend it and invest it in yourself, you're going to get a hell of a better return on it. After I ate a bag of Whisper Bites by myself in the car on the way home from Manx tonight, Sam, is that a risk? Or what are you going to do? Well, I maybe missed another comment. I don't know how that relates to risk taking. Fear of not fitting in clothes tomorrow. Did it anyway? Yes, there you go. That's a classic. Very, very good. I remember that one. Get spending, Sasha. Yeah, Sasha says get spending. Honestly, I just think, like, you know, living, and I tell people, don't I? I have to remind myself as well, because I keep telling people, live with an abundance mindset. Live as if. We covered that as if principle in Friday's book club. If you've not watched the book club on Steal the Show, Michael Port's Steal the Show, we're going to look at it again this coming Friday. Go back on actsonthis.tv and just look at the first book club we did on Michael Port's Steal the Show. It's about something called the as if principle, where you live as if your goals have already happened, or you go into that room as if you've already got the job. You know, you walk in to that I don't know, date with somebody as if they already think you're amazing. You know, so you don't walk in going, oh God, I'm apologising for everything. Should use my money to bring my I hope your agent doesn't watch these Periscopes. It's so funny. To bribe your agent, she said. Oh God, I'm crying a little bit. Whew! We will all club together and bribe your agent before you need it. That's amazing. Oh God, so funny. Thank you for the entertainment, guys. Spend the overdraft. God, you know what? When I was at uni, at drama school, my whole entire student loan of my overdraft was just spent on living an abundant life. I'll tell you that. It's one thing I did risk. I've taken a risk this evening. I hate giving speeches. Have you given a speech, Carol? Where was your speech? Tell us a little bit about that before we go. How did it go? What were you speaking about? Because that's Michael Port says in his book, because Michael Port, this book is all about public speaking, says that most people rate fear like this: fear of death, fear of public speaking. They rate death. Fear of public speaking, sorry, got it wrong around. Fear of public speaking, fear of death. Like, that's worse. I did, but I gave what did you say, Carol? You gave a really great speech. That's awesome. Ross sounded right northern then, says Sam. Yeah, so it was public speaking was the number one fear and death was the second fear. That's how most people put it. So good on you if you've done public speaking. That's really, really good. For those who want to get into public speaking as well, look up something called Toastmasters. There's generally kind of clubs all around the country, around the world, where you can go and practice public speaking. The worst is when you go to the US and everything's cheap, so you empty your bank. That's true. I'm on a serious diet, said Carol, and I missed the end bit of that. About the diet and the healthy. Oh, so you did a speech about the diet and the healthy eating. Amazing. Brilliant. Well, we've got there's a new fantastic nutritionist writing for me for actsonthis.tv called Samantha Oliver. Go and check out her article on actsonthis.tv today. It's called Nutrition to Nail, the best nutrition to nail audition nerves. She's really, really good. High performance nutrition. So check that out as well. But that's cool, Carol. Awesome. Let us know in the Facebook group how that's going on. For everybody who isn't part of the Facebook group, please come and join. It's facebook.com/groups/actsonthistv or /groups/Bulletproof Act if you want to get into the mindset of of becoming a successful actor. And I'm talking super successful, not dabbling in it, committing to success. Come and join the Facebook groups. Go to bulletproofactor.com as well if you want to sign up for the next intake of the mindset course that a lot of these guys on the scope are going through at the moment. It's called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, and it is changing lives, folks. So go and read about it, bulletproofactor.com. Awesome. I'll be back on Wednesday, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Take risks this week, and let me know what risks you're going to take in the Facebook group. I want a bigger risk, Sam, than eating a bag of Whisper Bites on the way home, although that is a big risk. I had a risk. I ate half a tube of Pringles yesterday as well. Yeah, we're all taking risks with our diet and health. Although I'm pretty healthy overall, I reckon. Pringles are lethal, Sasha. They're ridiculous. They're just too good. Once you pop, you just can't stop, and they are no good for the guns. So bad, I'll stop doing that. Right, I'm out of here. Ready salted with the flavour, Sam. Thanks for asking. I'm going, but I'll see you Wednesday night. I don't know what we're going to be talking about yet, but hopefully I'll be able to give you some updates on, and you'll be able to give me updates on the risks that you've taken. And hopefully they've all paid off for us. Fingers crossed. Nice one. Thank you so much for watching. If you've come this far on the replay, thank you. And come and join us live next time. Kim's had a massive bag of Doritos. It's all going off. The crisp central for everybody. I'll leave you to stuff your faces. Bye for now, guys.